Hey guys, it's Ashley Simone here. I hope you guys had an amazing Wednesday. What I'm gonna be talking about tonight is Bathsheba and David. Y'all, I kind of ran from posting this video because I already knew what happened in the story of Bathsheba and David, and I was like, Lord, I don't want to study about this. But he was like, you gonna study about this. So I ended up studying about this, and I found it to be a really good story, a life lesson, a teaching moment, something to avoid in the future, something to be prepared for in the future. So I thank God that I was obedient, and I did study and learn something from this word. And I don't, this is something that I could, it's not good. It happens to me daily. So this is something to remind me of who I am and my purpose in life and who I'm supposed to be with and who I'm not supposed to be with. God will make some things clear to you in your walk with him. He will clarify a lot of things to you, and you will know who's for you and who's not for you. He will make it clear for you, to you. But I also had a dream with this, so yeah, you're gonna study about this. So I can run from it if I wanted to. But so let me go ahead and get started before I run up all my time. But I keep looking at this video and I'm looking at my eyes. And y'all, I'm going to tell y'all the story about my left eye one day this week. I was thinking about earlier to do a story time about my eyes, but I'll tell y'all one day soon. But anyways, I was in the dream, I was in this new neighborhood, and in this neighborhood it was like tall houses. It was like walking through this gorgeous neighborhood, and I saw a girl that I was once friends with in real life, and she was serving spaghetti, but she was serving the spaghetti and she was really happy to be serving some spaghetti. It was like she knew something that I didn't know, and like she was happy about it. Like it was like she knew something that I wouldn't agree with or something that would hurt me, but she was excited that she knew about it, and she was laughing at it basically in my face but behind my back because she knew something I didn't know. And after that, I went into this house and I saw this man, and this man was tied to this chair and he couldn't talk and I couldn't hear him, and he was trying to tell me something but I could not understand him. And then I woke up, and whatever he was trying to tell me was important. Like I felt that in my dream that it was important, and he couldn't get it out to me, and it was important. But this dream really clicked with the story of David and Bathsheba. And in the story of David and Bathsheba, it was a war going on, and David was king. And he was telling the people to go ahead and do something with the war. And when they left, he saw this girl outside of his window, and she was bathing in the pond or whatever they was bathing at the time. I don't know why, but she was bathing in the pond or whatever it was. And he saw her and he was like, I didn't know this beautiful girl had lived right here under my nose, basically. Like, who is she? So he ended up calling her to the palace that night, and he asking her who she was, and she told him, I am the wife of you, what's his name? Uriah. And he's one of his soldiers, one of his bravest soldiers at that. And David still went out his way and had sex with her, even though he knew that she was married. And sorry, y'all. And she was the wife of one of his faithful soldiers. He still didn't. And after that night, it was just a one-night stand, from my understanding. 2 months later, Bathsheba told David she was pregnant. 2 months later. And then when he got that message, David realized that one night stand was just creating a really big problem. So what David did was he called Uriah from the fields where he was at, and he tried to get him drunk and send him home to his wife, so that when he found out she was pregnant, he would think the baby was his. But that didn't work. At first, Uriah didn't even want to drink anything. But David was like, you're going to not listen to your king? I'm telling you to drink, so drink. So he ended up drinking the wine. And after Uriah did get drunk, David tried to make him go to his wife again. But Uriah was like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not going nowhere. Like, how could I go? And my captain and the other soldiers are out there about to fight. How can I go home and be with my wife? And no, I can't do that. I'm a real person. Not a real person, but I'm a real soldier. I stand for what I know. I stand for who I am. I stand for what I do. Like, I'm not doing that. That's coming out of my character. I'm not going to do that. And Uriah was like, if anything, I'll sleep at your front door. And that's what he did. He slept at King David's front door. So David realized that Uriah wasn't going home. That wasn't about to happen. So he had to come up with another plan. And this plan was to basically kill Uriah, is what he did. He sent a letter to, I guess, the captain at the war. And he told the captain to put Uriah in the front line. So if he's in the front line, when they attack, it's really like he's just gonna die, because he in the front line. When them people start throwing them arrows and stuff, he's gonna get hit. He's in the front line. So he really killed him. He killed Uriah to cover up his lie. Not his lie, but his sin he did to him. So I guess a few days later, I think the prophet name was Nathan. Prophet Nathan came to David, and David was like, what are you doing here? You ain't sent word that you was coming to see me. Is this important? And the prophet was like, yeah, I got something to tell you. There was a crime committed in your country. And David was like, what happened? What is it? So Prophet Nathan goes to tell David this. He says, there were two men living in the same city. The rich man had flocks and sheep, but the poor man had nothing but one fine lamb. The lamb ate and drank from his cup and slept on his chest. The poor man treated the lamb like a daughter. But one day, the rich man had a guest to come over. A guest came to the rich man's house. So the rich man went and took the poor man's one precious lamb that he loved so much and killed the lamb and served it to his guest. even though he had so much sheep and flocks and everything, he took that man's one lamb that he cared so much about and killed it. And David was so upset when prophet Nathan told, I must be got to talk about Daniel, but when prophet Nathan told him the story, he was so upset. And David was like, I will not tolerate such crime under his rule, and whoever did this must die. And the prophet said, you're the man. You did this. And God said to David, you are a shepherd, and I made you a king. I blessed you with everything and made you rich and powerful. God said, other men will take your wife, and your child born of adultery will die. And that's what happened. Bathsheba, her baby died, and she was really upset. And when David heard what was going to happen, he cried. He cried so much, y'all. His heart was broken because he realized that he really messed up. And the baby did die, but Bathsheba was still upset too, and she began to question God, like, why did you do this? But David came to her and told her that God was punishing him for his sins that he committed. And he was telling her, even though he sinned, God will not abandon them. And God did end up forgiving David, and he blessed him with a baby boy named Salmon. I think that's how you say it. And Salmon was the next king he was known for how wise he was. I believe he asked God for one thing, and he only asked God to make him wise. And he was also one of the richest men to ever be a king. He was rich and he was wise, but he messed up too. And y'all, we all make mistakes. None of us will ever be perfect. We just won't. Like, it's not even about being perfect. It's about repenting and asking God to forgive you for your sins, but working hard to not commit the same sin over and over again. Like, we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and think that God is not going to address it or handle it like a father would. Punishment. It's sad, but we just can't keep doing it. That's just like letting your child continue to do something over and over again. You're going to get tired one day. You're going to get fed up with them one day. And you're going to handle business. And that's what God did today. And even though they ended up having Salmon, I think that's a Salmon. I hope I'm saying it right. They had more kids after him, and those other kids gave David a whole bunch of problems. So, y'all, we got to be careful about the things that we do in life. Try to do what's right. I know we're not going to be perfect, but just try to do what's right. It's hard, but do it. I'd rather us do what's right than to try to cover up a mistake that we did out of being selfish and committing more mistakes and lies. You know, like they say, you gotta tell a lie to cover up the other lie. Ain't no need for all of that. Just be truthful. And let them counterfeits go. I know it's hard because I deal with them all the time. And it's hard to be like, no, I cannot talk to you. No, just leave me alone. Like, it's like you don't want to be rude, but you gotta say no. Just learn to say no. I know it's hard, but you can do it. If I can do it, because I'm a super nice person, I don't want to hurt nobody's feeling. You could do it too. You could do it too, because I had to turn some people down. And it's not to be mean, but if they not for you, they ain't for you. And hopefully they will understand where you coming from. If not, I mean, they just gonna have to be mad. And if they gonna get mad, that should tell you right there, you definitely wasn't a person for me. So that's it, y'all. So I hope that the story helped someone. You learned something from it. I know I did. Like, it's okay to say no. It's better to say no. It's better to just say no, I can't talk to you, or just leave me alone. And don't let nobody persuade you into talking to them because of who they is. Like, it's no. I don't care who you is. You know what God has told you. Listen to what God has told you. No matter what. Who can do you better than God? Nobody. So y'all, I am going to get out of here. It is late. I love y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow. I think I'm gonna post one more video though. If I don't, I'll post it in the morning. But I love y'all, and good night. Bye.